the beast, saying, Who's like the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and overcome them. Now this appears initially to be a great number, but that is until we realize and remember that all of the saints have escaped to stand before the Son of Man in the throne in heaven, with the exception of the two witnesses. And if we look at Revelation chapter 11, we see the very same language. The beast will ultimately have power to make war against the two saints, the two witnesses, and overcome and kill them, just like it says in this verse. And power was given to him, the beast, over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Verse 8, And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names were not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Now those whose names were found in the book of life will not be dwelling on the earth. For if they were still on the earth, they also would be deceived by the beast. Remember what Jesus said? But this deception will not be possible because the angels have evacuated the elect to heaven. Verse 11, And I beheld another beast, not the same beast, another beast, coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast. Note, the second beast is able to exercise the same power as the first beast because he too is a fallen angelic beast, an angel of great power and authority. And he does great wonders so that he makes fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. And he had power to give life to the image to the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Note here that there's no mention of anyone able to resist these two beasts. Remember, they were once angels around the throne with the power to shake the doorposts in the temple of God in heaven. Do you think an unsaved person could stand up to one of them and say, "Oh, I don't think I'll take that mark"? No, all will take the mark just as it says. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Watson, the mark is like a brand for branding cattle. If a rancher causes all of his cattle to take the mark, do the calves have an option of refusing that mark? No, Holmes, they'll all take the brand. Precisely, Watson. Advanced teaching, Daniel chapter 9, misconceptions of the 70 weeks. But Holmes, what of the Antichrist and the 7-year peace treaty with Israel? And Watson, a clue for you. How long shall the beast, a.k.a. Antichrist, a.k.a. Apollyon, be on the earth? I wrote it right down here, Holmes. 42 months. 3.5 years after he comes out of the bottomless pit, he'll be gone in the lake of fire, Holmes. Precisely, Watson. Then how can the beast make a 7-year peace treaty with Israel and then after 3.5 years break it, take away a sacrifice, declare himself to be God, and then dominate the earth for another 3.5 years? How, Holmes? Elementary, Watson. The whole idea is nonsense. This puzzle must be taken apart and put together properly to get to the truth. But Holmes, nonsense, Watson. There will be no 7-year peace treaty with Israel. There will be no new temple during tribulation. How so, Holmes? The details are clear in Daniel chapter 9. And as for the animal sacrifice, that's a mystery for later. Daniel 9:20. In these next 3 verses, Daniel is praying and confessing the sins of his nation, and Gabriel comes to him and touches him about the time of the evening oblation and has come to give him skill and understanding. In verse 24, the angel Gabriel tells Daniel that 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, and to accomplish certain things. And let's look at the details of this phrase. First of all, the people of Daniel are the children of Israel. The holy city is the city of Jerusalem. And 70 weeks are determined on Israel and Jerusalem. Now, the events in the Gentile world will not be considered when counting the 70 weeks. Remember that Jesus' 3.5-year ministry on earth was exclusively to the Jews. So that time period does pertain to the people of Daniel. But from the time of the cross, when Jesus' ministry ended on earth, and where Jesus once and for all was sacrificed for the sins of the whole world, until now, that time period of around 2 millennium is not counted in the 70 weeks, which refer exclusively to the nation of Israel. Let's look at verse 24 in a little more detail. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish transgression, make an end of sins, reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and the prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. The finishing of transgressions, the end of sins, reconciliation for iniquity, everlasting righteousness being brought in, were accomplished and completed by Jesus on the cross when he said it was finished. The anointing of the most holy was accomplished when the Spirit of the Lord came down on Jesus as a dove to anoint Jesus at his baptism. And this important event began the 3.5-year ministry of the Messiah Prince to the Jews. Verse 25. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the command to restore and build Jerusalem to Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. A total of 69 weeks of years. 69 weeks from the command to restore and rebuild Jerusalem unto Messiah the Prince is a total of 483 years. This was a time when Jesus was anointed as the Messiah Prince and began his ministry exclusively to the Jews. Now, why is the time divided into 7 weeks and 62 weeks? Let's look again. If we look at the verse, we'll see there's first 7 weeks and then 62 weeks. As we break this down, in the first 7 weeks, or 49 years, the temple was rebuilt. After the first 7 weeks came the next 62 weeks, or another 434 years. So there were 434 years from the point the temple was rebuilt until the arrival on the earth of the ministry of Messiah the Prince. Verse 26, and after the 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. Note, at a point in time after the 62 weeks, which comes after the 7 weeks, then Messiah is cut off not for himself, but for the sins of the world. And after that 62 weeks, Messiah will be cut off not for himself, and the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. The question is, which prince? Elementary, Watson, the Messiah Prince. The city and the sanctuary, the temple, will be destroyed just as Jesus prophesied in Matthew 24. Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Why was the temple destroyed, Holmes? Elementary, Watson. Destruction of the temple and the near 2 millennium exile of the Jews came because of the rejection of their Messiah Prince, Jesus Christ. Due to their rejection of Jesus, the Messiah Prince, the demonic forces of the Roman army were unleashed to bring total destruction to the temple. Not one stone was left upon another, just as Jesus prophesied. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and to the end of the war, desolation is determined. Which war, Holmes? Elementary, Watson, the war with the kingdom of darkness.